welcome to WRPB and WRPB Studios. We live in paradise, and sometimes paradise becomes a nightmare. With me, I must have Garrett Deal from Ideal Pressure Washing and Screen Repair.
That's right.
How you doing? Okay, so we live in this great paradise, but we have issues when you live in this kind of weather and stuff like this. And one of the issues for me has always been that my house all of a sudden gets, because I don't really know what's your industry, like mold or green
We
stuff.
see a lot of algae.
Right, okay, algae, that's probably what it is. So, like an idiot, I figure, hey, it's a DIY, I could do this. So what do? You go to a big box store and you rent a pressure washer. Well, now there's a hole in my vinyl siding, okay? Guys, I say it a million times, always use a professional. So, pressure washing really is an art because it has to be different pressures for different things.
Absolutely. When
Okay.
you call a professional, he's going to know what's needed for every job.
Okay, so I call you up and I say, hey, my driveway is got some grease stains and some dirt. I need you to come over and look at it. How do you know how much pressure to use, basically? Or what I've learned is people will then go and rent a pressure washer like an idiot, and we'll pressure wash, and there'll be lines in our thing because we don't use this round disc. What's that called?
A surface cleaner.
Okay. I guess those things give you enough pressure just to clean without destroying.
We're able to dial our machines down, dial the pressure down per job as needed.
You can't, can you or can you not use a pressure washer on like a roof?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Every roof is different. We're either doing a shingle roof or a barrel tile roof or a metal roof. Every roof is cleaned differently.
Okay. Why'd you get into this industry?
Well, I've been in the screen industry for a long time, and
Okay.
after going from job to job and doing roof panels or screen repair, whatnot, I see all these homeowners that need power washing as well. So I figured I could get into it and provide both services.
Okay, so now you mentioned screen repair, which is an interesting scenario, because we spend a lot of money to screen in our backyard, our pool, our lanai, and over time, screens go bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
And of course, we live in paradise, so we have hurricanes, okay, and that destroys the screens. It defeats the whole purpose if a screen has a hole in it, right?
Yep.
And I don't think the size of the hole really makes a difference because the bugs are going to find their way in.
They sure will.
All right, so do you do just the repairs? Do you do the screening?
Well, like I said before, we are a full service screen repair company. So whether it's a full rescreen or a simple screen repair, we're able to do both. We do dog doors or full screw change outs, whatever it may be.
Okay, so you've been in the industry a while. How many years have you been in this industry?
About 5 years.
Okay, so have you seen any changes within the chemicals you use for pressure washing and stuff like that?
The chemicals haven't changed much. There's a lot of new products that are coming out into the market every once in a while, and we give them a try. But we basically stuck to the same thing that we started with in the first place.
Okay, one of my concerns, and I think is everybody's concern, is like you're going to pressure wash my house, this allergy stuff, to get it off the thing. Does it affect the plants that are in the flower bed?
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
How
It can. So basically, we look at things from a job-to-job basis. So if there's a lot of flowers or bushes or whatever, we're going to take the precautions to make sure we don't kill those.
Okay, so precaution, do we cover them? Do we
Whether it
keep them
may
wet?
be cover, keep them wet, wet them down the whole time. There's a few different ways to do it.
Interesting. If you're going to use a pressure washing company, okay, and they come to you with an electric pressure washer, for me, do they have enough power, electric pressure washers?
No, not for me. I mean, sometimes you're going to be using very minimal pressure, but it just depends on the job. A lot of times you need some high pressure for running, say, concrete or walkways.
Is it, and I'm going to guess it takes patience to pressure wash.
It takes patience, but it's also very satisfying.
Is it? Well, I know that I rented a car, and I parked at my driveway, and it had an oil leak.
Oh, gosh.
Right. Okay. And I'm now, of course, I'm cursing at the rental car company,
Yeah.
which is a major company, and the car only had like 70,000 miles on it. Now I have to have this taken out. Can we get oil leaks out and stuff like that?
They're definitely tough, but they can be done.
Okay. Then one of the things, and again, I don't know the industry, so I'm going to ask. Do we then put a sealant over the driveway after we
Usually,
park
we
it?
do sealant, but that's usually for paver driveways or whatnot.
Okay.
Or painted driveways.
Do you have to be careful on paint that you would peel the paint from the pressure washer?
Absolutely. So if I'm on a painted driveway, I'm usually going to do a test spot somewhere and make sure I'm not peeling paint, and I'm going to dial my pressure down as needed.
Interesting. How? Not that I care about the pricing, but how do you price it out by job? Do you price it out by how many hours you're going to be there?
Well, as far as screen repair, it's usually by square footage or the power washing. It's usually just by the look of it how difficult the job's going to be. Whether if it's on a roof, I'm going to price it accordingly. If it's
I
on
don't
a
blame
wall,
you. Yeah, I don't blame you. Get them on that roof, especially in Florida. Is it so? I want to get back to the because I can talk about the issues that I know, and I know that I'm in an HOA,
right?
and the front of my vinyl gets green,
Yeah.
and it's algae. Is that what you believe it is? Is it hard to get off?
No, vinyl is one of the easier things to clean.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah. Turn your pressure down and give it a rinse.
And that's going to come off
Yep.
without chemicals?
Usually don't use chemical on vinyl. You can.
Interesting. What's the hardest thing to clean?
The hardest thing to clean, I'd probably say metal roof. They can get pretty slippery, so
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now that would be, when you said that to me, like the layperson, I'm going, no, because I mean, how much damage can you do to a metal roof? But
Yeah.
you're right. Getting up there and doing it is dangerous. What about wood? I guess if the pressure's too high, you can burn through that wood. Can you like make a cut in the wood?
yeah, absolutely.
Pressure washing, dangerous if it's not used properly.
It can be, especially it can be dangerous to homeowner's property if it's not done. If you don't call a professional, he doesn't know what he's doing, not using the right pressures or the right chemicals, or he's not diluting his chemical properly. It can be dangerous.
Okay, so pressure washing involves water. Do you come with your own tank? Do you use their water?
We come with with 2 tanks, and we use the homeowner's water most of the time. But
it's
if we're
available.
asked if we need to bring our own water, we will.
Okay, so like here in this building here, I need a piece pressure wash, but all of the spigots out there are rusted over. You can't get to them. So a guy comes and then he can't do it because he doesn't have water. He doesn't have a tank.
Well, we've got our very professional setup. We've got 2 full-size 500-gallon tanks, so we can bring up to 1,000 gallons of water with us to a job
You know,
without refilling.
it's interesting because when you think of it, putting a tank on the back of a truck, I don't think about it that if the water shifts, you could shift that whole truck.
So ideally, we like to empty the tanks before we go anywhere.
Right.
And but like I said, if needed, we can bring our own water.
Okay, rescreening. How high would you go? I mean, you have a 3-story, 4-story.
If it needs rescreened, we can do it. Doesn't matter how high it is.
Okay, obviously you have the ability to get. I'm probably gonna use the wrong word. An apple picker, if you had to.
No, we
A cherry picker, whatever. it's
unfortunately
called.
we don't. There's unfortunately there's not usually not enough money in the screen business to rent a cherry picker
Okay.
or buy a cherry picker. So
Yeah, I knew there was a
usually-
name. I just couldn't figure out what the name was. So because I think about it and I'm thinking, all right, so here's my screened in backyard, and the screening goes over the top too.
So
Is
one
it-
of us is going to be walking the beams to replace our roof panel.
Oh wow.
Sometimes we like to use a walk board, or sometimes we'll tie in if it's very, very tall and dangerous. We'll take the proper precautions to make sure nobody gets hurt.
And I'm gonna think that you're licensed
Absolutely, licensed and insured.
and insured. Those things are like so important. We'll get to the top of the time. How do people find you? You got a website?
Yeah, we're on Facebook, and
Okay.
or you could call me at 772-300-7126.
How long from the time that someone calls you can you get out there and do a job if you had to?
Right now we're roughly 2 weeks out. It's pretty
Okay.
busy right now.
Blessing.
Absolutely.
Okay, a blessing. With that, I got to tell you, for me, I think what you do is pretty amazing because I tried it myself. Okay, and I learned my lesson really pretty quickly. But some days got to be really hot out there.
Oh yeah.
I gotta believe it's got to be really hot out there. At least you have some water to work with.
Absolutely.
So, all right, I want to thank Garrett for coming on. Name of the company is Ideal Pressure Washing and
Screen
Screen
repair.
Repair. Check them out. And I gotta tell you, I'm gonna tell you now, tell you a million times, use a professional. No matter what you're doing, use a professional. Because you know what? It'll take you 3 times the amount of time that it'll take Garrett to do. Okay. And then you'll probably have to call him to fix the mistakes that you made. Everybody have a great day, and we'll be right back.